Hi, my name is Jacqueline Mgido for Makeup Designory. Today we're going to recreate a look from Beyonce's recent music video, Video Phone. I'm going to introduce you to our model, Maddie, who's already been prepped, and now we're about to apply foundation on her. I'm going to go ahead and trim the edges of this sponge. Now we've cut the sponges, we're going to go ahead and mix the foundation colors. Mix her foundation color, YG1. I'm going to go ahead and mix in GY1 into the foundation. You have to make sure everything mixes together so you can have a nice even color. And now I'm going to go ahead and take my highlight color. Okay? And it's good to mix her foundation color into the highlight color. And now I'm going to get a darker color for the contouring. Don't forget to really mix the color in there. Now that we have all our colors mixed, we have our foundation color that matches with the skin, we have the highlight color, and then we have the dark color for contouring. Let's get started. I'm going to show you what we're about to do. We would like to highlight the cheekbone. In order to do that, we're going to put a highlight right above her cheeks. We're going to put the contouring color right below the cheeks. And then, in order to narrow her face, we're going to go ahead and put a dark color around the temples and around the jawline. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the highlight color, and I'm going to stipple. I'm stippling on the foundation because I want a nice even coverage. You have to remember, we're doing a full coverage, and if I just stroke it on there, I'll leave streaks. And remember, we were talking about the edges earlier on, okay? I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. All right, and now I'm going to go ahead and load my sponge again, and I'm going to highlight her nose. And this is to give her a really fabulous, narrow, straight nose. I'm going to turn my sponge so I can get a nice, beautiful, straight line down her nose. And then I'm going to highlight her forehead. Okay, can you see how I'm stippling? Okay, this is giving me a nice, even application. Again, we are doing a full coverage, and I know right now you're thinking, oh my gosh, it looks very tribal. Make sure that the foundation is going right into the skin, because if it just lays on top, that's not good when I go and put her own foundation, her own skin color on top of that, because it'll start mixing. Okay, and then now I'm going to go under her nose. And I'm going to highlight that as well. This is great because her lips will be more pronounced. Load the sponge again, and then we're going to go right under the chin. And one more place that I'm going to highlight would be her brow bone. And what we did was we blocked her brows in order for us to get that fabulous eyebrow that Beyonce has in the music video. Again, around the brow bone. And if you noticed, I applied a little much, but that's okay because you can always turn your sponge and you can remove the foundation. This is just going to give a beautiful lift, great narrow face. And in that video, you can see her cheekbones are really high. I love that. Now we're going to move on to contouring. Now I have my clean sponge. This would be the contouring color that we're going to use to contour her face. And I'm going to start in the middle of her ear. And I'm going to come down, and I'm making kind of a triangle, if you notice. This helps with the gradation of the cheek, making it look like a cylinder. And now we're going to add dark color around her temple. If you notice, I'm still stippling, and I'm also still leaving space in between the highlight and the shadow, because again, we're going to place our foundation color around there. And again, I'm going to put some around the temple area. Going right under the neck, guys. You want to go right under the neck because that creates a fabulous shadow. All right, right towards her ears. I mean, she already has got a really great jowl. And again, I'm going to go to the other side, turn my model right underneath her neck. Okay, you want to avoid the bearded look. We don't want any bearded ladies, people. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add a shadow right around the ear area. This will create a narrow face, okay, right around here, okay? And I'm gonna turn around again. You'll notice that her highlights are much brighter, and that's because she's got a little bit of a darker skin tone. So I'm concentrating more on exaggerating the highlights, which will really bring out what we are trying to achieve. I'm blending the edges. This is going to be easier for me when I put the foundation on top and I don't have to blend as much, okay? And I'm going to go around the nose area, and I'm going to go ahead and add a dark color right around the nose area just to accentuate. Now we're moving on to foundation. This is going to even out the skin. This is her foundation color. I'm going to go ahead and load my sponge, okay, nice and evenly, okay, and I am going to start applying it where we can see her own natural skin, and then I'm going to go ahead into the lighter areas first. The reason why I do that is because I want to avoid my sponge grabbing onto the darker color, okay? You will notice that even though I'm stippling around the eye area, I'm just gonna go a little bit lighter. Reason being is I still wanna show the highlighted area, okay? And then as I come down, where you can see her skin, I can go ahead and stipple just a little bit more. We want a beautiful, even coverage, so you have to make sure that you keep loading your sponge for more base. Okay, I'm going to come in again. Okay, and you can always distribute the color by just turning your sponge around and making sure that it really sinks into the face. And this application, I have to tell you, you can use this on anybody. Because a lot of people think this is just for TV. No, if you blend this in, you can walk around the street with it. It's all in your application. As you can see, I have completely covered her. Now we're going to set the foundation with two different powders. This would be the shell, which we're going to use to set the highlighted areas. And this would be the desert, which we're going to use to set the darker areas. I'm going to go ahead and load my puff. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that the powder really enters into the powder puff. I'm going to go ahead and press it lightly around the highlighted areas. Under the eyes, right above the cheekbones, right in the center of her nose. I'm going to load the other side of my puff with the darker powder. And again, I want to press it in the areas that are darker. And that would be underneath the cheekbone, right around the temple areas, okay, across the forehead. I'm going to the other side, around the jawline. Again, you can always step back to see if everything is nice and even. Now that the foundation is set in, now we're moving on to part two, the eyes. Really excited.